All right, we are here in the studio, episode 2 with Gut Gang Community, Gut Gang Podcast with Mr. Ron Bat.
Oh, I'm honored. Number 2.
Crazy, eh?
Whoa.
We've been talking about this for almost at least a year.
Since Skull Camp.
Yeah.
My name is Ron. I'm from Toronto most of my life. I'm a branding guy by trade, but I'm also deeply involved with the wellness community in Toronto and I guess around the world now.
But how did that start though? Like let's talk deeper, just way back. Like where did you come from? How about that?
Like doing what I do and all that stuff.
Yeah, like where are you originally from Toronto?
I was born in the Philippines, Manila,
okay.
But we moved here. My family moved here when I was 18. So we're technically from Markham. I'm from Markham.
Yeah.
So when I went to school, I live in Markham. But after I finished school, I just left right away.
Did you?
I'm just like a city kid. So I moved to Toronto right away.
So like Markham wasn't even enough for you.
No, like I'm gonna get into it later, but I'm also big on nightlife. Remember, right? Like, so all the good, fun things are always downtown.
When you were 18, living in Markham with the family.
Yeah, finished school when I was like, I took a bunch of different courses.
Right.
So I say I was free by the age of 24. I just did my own thing. At that age,
like you got rid of all of your schooling. You finished by 24.
I finished school by 24, but in between those, reaching my 30s, I still take courses. Right. I even took filmmaking, which
that explains something.
I went to Ryerson for that, but it didn't really kind of work out because some of them I already know. It's like, okay, why am I paying for this? So I kind of didn't know. The same as my line of work right now, branding.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, I paint all those stuff, right? Like I draw. But when I learned computer, Mac, I've been using Apple since I was a kid.
Right.
I kind of tend that forget that side of me that I can actually use my hand to draw, paint. So I'm more.
What are you more skill set on, painting or drawing?
Painting. I used to do oil paintings.
Really?
Yeah, and drawings, sketches.
Any particular, like, what did you like to paint?
More nature stuff, right?
Got it.
Sometimes portrait, but I'm good at that on like pencil. Like,
yeah.
But again, these are like years ago.
Sure.
So I'm more into.
So you've got that creative eye.
Yeah.
And is that how you got started? It
translates to what I'm doing, right? Like, they said it's not even I think it's inborn.
I certainly can't draw.
Like some people go to school for typography and all that. Because I went to Humber for a digital course or something, and they're teaching typography.
What's typography?
It's like how fonts, how it should be like close to each, like all those details, right? They teach that to you,
right? I imagine there's definitely a science behind it, and I know nothing about that.
But it's at the end, it's all about the eye, right? So it's in me. So when I look at the product, that's a problem with working. Like I do branding, so sometimes when I see products, I know it's good, I won't buy it because of their logo.
If you know that a product is good, but you don't
I'm kind of biased because I don't like the branding.
Even if the product is good,
it's good, but I don't want to see it every day that it's there. Oh shit, I don't want to look at that font they use.
So if it's bad, you won't buy it.
Yeah, I won't support it.
But if they've got good branding and a shitty product, are you saying that you'll buy it? Because you're a sucker. You're a sucker for good advertising.
Most of the products I use also is already proven because I use it. It's sponsored.
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit more. Your branding.
Yeah.
Because 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
One, you've established yourself as your own brand, like you as an individual, and you've gained a huge amount of traffic and followers from that. But at the same time, you've also developed relationships and like brand partnerships with some very respectable brands in the lifestyle. So how did you do that? Like, was it a plan, or is that just part and part of the parcel?
I think all this sponsorship just came in when I started doing the plunging, right? It happened 3 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when I started this whole journey, right? I never got sponsored before for doing nightlife.
Right.
I get paid to go out. I guess we have to talk about that nightlife part.
Well,
Right?
and yeah, like
So I'm
because
really
let's
big.
let's start
Yeah.
to let's
So
we'll
I'm
go.
really involved. Like part of me before is like I go out a lot, basically, right?
Right.
But the networking, I'm not sure how it started, but I have a big circle of friends, you know. And then eventually, bars, restaurants hired me to go out.
Is that
You know?
because you used to work for the newspaper? You said.
I don't know. So part of my life too is part because I worked there for 7 years, right? So I
Right.
handled Toronto Star. I have different magazine under my belt.
Mhm.
I was their branding. I'm a graphic designer, production manager for that company,
Right.
and it comes with perks, right? Oh, this guy works for media. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I get perks going to places like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy is from Toronto Star, from iMagazine, from the Grid. Let him in. So I guess I kind of got used to it. But also that time, that's the peak of my social life, like nightlife. You know.
So the newspaper
Yeah.
was your gateway into the nightlife because they were giving you sort of.
No, it doesn't really translate to
Okay.
that. It's just like I think that's how I built my connection.
Right.
Right. But going out and all that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who goes out a lot too.
Mhm.
Right. And eventually I was able to bring a lot of people. Okay, let's go to this place.
Yep.
And then it just, I don't know, happened that, okay, why don't you host parties? So, throw
Oh.
parties
Okay.
and all that stuff. That's why I got that nickname. Even up to now, my signature is I'm with Ron. Because if you're visiting Toronto or if you don't have anything to do in Toronto,
Yeah.
oh, I'm with Ron. Oh, just message Ron because I'm with Ron right now.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I'm just like a party guy.
Right.
You know, I love meeting people and all that.
And are you by? Yeah. So like
Yeah.
you used to party.
Yes, everything. I used to drink a lot.
So I think we even. I'm sure. I
think
wonder
we
if we
crossed
even
paths,
partied together.
I think,
Yeah.
but I'm mostly King West, right? That's my.
That's your neighborhood.
I'm a King West guy.
Yeah, but King West doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
It's still there. There's still a few.
Is there still
restaurants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So relationship or employment with the newspaper.
Yeah.
That turned into you getting invited to cool events, and then that turned into.
I don't want to quote that, but I think that's part of it.
Okay, but then then you started hosting your own events.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a larger part of your.
Yes, because I love throwing parties. You know, I love organizing something so everyone can be together.
Yep.
I guess.
And those predominantly at nightclubs or dinners?
Yeah, bars mostly.
Right.
Because clubs, I do clubs, but it's really hard to talk in a club, right?
Yeah.
But it's mostly start with dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and then we all meet up. But so I hosted Escobar. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
I've heard of
with
it.
that bar. So it's inside Barro restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for a few years. So for you to get access to Escobar, you have to know me or the staff or management, because we change the password. You need a password to get in.
Oh, cool.
So Escobar is like almost like it's a secret bar because you need a password to go inside that restaurant.
And was it always busy?
Always busy. I book the DJs. I'm into house music, so I book DJs, sometimes international DJs. Comes to that place, which has 150 capacity.
Dude, you and I did
It's
the
still
same
open.
thing.
It's still open right now.
I used to book parties.
Yeah.
Just different boat cruises.
Yeah, I don't like boats. But yeah.
Okay,
So I've done that for like at least 5 years of my life, just partying.
All right, let's talk about. I want to talk about partying then a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because if you party, if you're in the scene, there's a lot of extracurriculars.
Everything. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, whatever you.
So were you were you a consumer of fun party items?
Yeah.
I did too. It just comes with the territory.
Right.
But it didn't. I'm glad that it didn't consume me because it can be.
Right.
But I want to talk about that a little bit more because on your social media, you really take pride and you express the joys of being sober.
Sobriety, yeah.
So are you sober right now?
Yep.
And are you sober like for because of a specific reason, or is just part of the lifestyle?
The main reason is the lifestyle, because I've done it for so many years, right? And I just got tired of it. Waking up hangover every day.
Waking up hungover.
Yeah, and the creative part of me is slowly disappearing, right? So I was like, okay, I'm too hangover to do this.
So you were partying a lot.
Yeah.
You were waking up hungover.
Yeah.
But you still had your day job.
Yeah.
Of creation,
yeah,
and like digital design and all that stuff.
But that time I was already a freelancer, so it's like it's just up to me to schedule that.
But at the same time, if you were,
you can't function,
right? So and were you finding that was becoming more and more?
Yes, yeah. I say 3 times a week. I have events.
You were hungover 3 times a week, during the week or whatever.
Yeah,
and then being self-employed.
Yeah.
Then your work perhaps started to take a drop because you were just partying so much.
Yeah, and then sometimes you don't accept clients because, okay, you got to balance your time now because you wasted half of your day hangover, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
was there a tipping point for you? Like, was there a moment when you were either hungover or partying or something?
You know, that happens, right? When you're like hangover or waking up, like you partied too much the previous night, that the next day you're like, oh, I swear to God, this is the last time I'm going to do this. And then when you recover.
So what did you miss out though? Like what happened for you to really realize you're like, okay, shit, I can't keep on being hungover and partying because I just missed out on, was there something that really happened?
To be honest, I would still be partying today if there's no COVID, if the COVID didn't happen. So that's my
COVID happened.
Yeah. So everyone was saying like, okay, COVID is bad, but I think for me, that's a blessing in disguise for me.
So up until COVID, you were partying like a rock star.
So the night of when they announced the lockdown, I was at Escobar. People are messaging me, Ron, are you not watching the news? They're shutting down the world. And I was like, what do you mean? I have a DJ playing right now on that stuff.
Oh.
Right? So I stopped partying. Like when they announce it.
Right.
But when they open up again, I think that's like a few months after. It's like level.
Like, what did you do? Were you what did you do when they closed everything down? Were you in a state of panic, or were you kind of happy?
No, I kind of heard it like, okay, this is happening, but like everyone is in denial that time. It's like it's like almost like surreal. Like,
right.
Is this really happening?
Yeah.
Are we on lockdown?
Right.
So I kind of when that happened, I kind of was like, oh, what do you do? So one thing you have to know about me, like I don't drink at home by myself.
Okay.
It's a social thing for me.
Okay.
Right. I go out because I get to meet these people. And then I think the alcohol fuels it, right? So you'll have a good time because you're under this influence.
Sure.
But yeah, so when that happened, it's like, okay, what do we do now? So I was stuck at home, or like everyone else. What are you gonna do? But I think a few months after, there was like a stages of opening. So I went back to the thing. I hosted Laval as well, the summer spot.
Yeah.
So it's there. And then it continued again for like a few months, partying and all that. I think I literally stopped by September of 2020.
Got it.
Right. It's like, okay, because I'm thinking like, okay, they're going to open it again and then back again, you know? But that time, my thing is fading, actually. My, like going out.
The passion for going out.
Maybe because it wasn't consistent anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you were growing up.
Yes, probably that's it. Or maybe I'm enjoying the healthy side of it for a few months.
Sure.
And it's like, oh, this is how it feels, not hangover.
Yeah. So then what happened when you realized that you wanted to be sober permanently all the time? How did that happen?
I want to say it's that thing that when Nick invited me to go to Cherry Beach for a cold plunge. Right, because a few months before that, I was already not drinking. Right.
Okay.
And everyone's just looking for something to do because I think it went back. Like they announced again that there's a lockdown.
Got it.
I'm not even sure if you're allowed to gather at that time, but we all went to Cherry Beach. There's like 5 of us or something. Nick is the one who invited us.
Right.
And I know Nick for years. He used to work at Good Life. That's how we met. He's the one who invited me to go to Cherry Beach, and then we all just went for a swim.
This was in
November 2020.
So he spontaneously called you and said, "Hey."
They've been doing it for, I think, a week before that. I saw him post it, and I was like, "Okay, what's this? I want to go."
Right.
You know. Again, that's because that's something to do. There's
right.
nothing else to do. What do you do?
Yeah. So he invited you to socialize. In Lake Ontario. In November.
November 6th.
And this was your first ever cold plunge?
First ever, but swimming, I'm always in the water, right? But not when it's cold.
So what does this have to do with alcohol then?
I guess when I found out that, okay, this is really good. But like I said, a few months before that, I wasn't really drinking anymore, right?
Yeah.
So the alcohol quitting part, I guess I quit it even before that thing happened.
Right.
But I say that time in Cherry Beach, I think that's the turning point of like, okay, this is something new, something to look forward to now, like for my health.
Right. Why did Nick say that it's healthy for you? Like, did he say?
I was already following Wim Hof that time, so I already know the benefit of cold, but I just never got into it.
Got it.
Because why would I? I'm busy with partying, drinking.
So you knew, but nothing.
Even nature. I don't like nature before.
Because you like the city.
The city and all that. So anyway, so we went for a swim. Is it a swim? Yeah, we swam because it's not frozen or anything. November 6th. So you know what? To be honest, so maybe that's a turning point of my health, but not the quitting. Because I remember now that I quit alcohol before that. I wasn't drinking that time.
Okay, so why so extreme then? Like, do you, or maybe not extreme? Like, do you drink socially on occasions, or are you 100% bone sober?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, I just celebrated my 1,000 sobriety and cold dipping.
1,000 what? 1,000.
I'm on 1,002 now.
1,002 days?
Days, consecutive days, and I've been cold plunging, exposing myself to extremes for the past 1,002 days. So today, if I go on your tub, it's gonna be my 1,003.
Wow! So you've been sober. I want to repeat this. You've been sober for over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
And you've been exposing yourself to cold. For 1,000 days.
Yeah. So if I miss my lake, ice bath. This is where inward and othership comes in, right? Like all those places I go to.
So I want to brew on this for a little bit and get a little bit more of an understanding. 1,000 days of cold.
Yeah.
I love cold.
Yeah.
But I certainly am not consecutive every single day.
Yeah. I guess you can say they were saying like, oh yeah, you're probably addicted now to the cold. Maybe I just don't like using that word because it's like triggering for like my past life. Because why would you be addicted to something good?
Right.
But now I'm thinking, you can because it's dopamine as well. Right? It's giving you dopamine, but in a good way. So I guess I just continued doing it because it helped me a lot in terms of mindset.
So let's combine the two: 1,000 days sobriety and 1,000 days cold plunges or cold exposure. What does that mean to you? Because sobriety can mean or can look like a lot of things.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's like, it depends on who you talk to, right? I guess it's different definitions for each person.
Sure.
Combining their experience, past experience. I guess for me, sobriety means releasing myself from temporary happiness, temporary. It's just like overall, like you're doing something to make yourself feel good, but at the end, for a short time, you're back to where you are again.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, and mostly this comes from chemicals, from alcohol.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
I think that's why people use it to escape for that period of time.
Yeah, but
they know the problem is not going away. Or
do you think? Do you think they deep down? No. Do you think they know, or do you think they don't know? And it's just like human behavior and human habit to just have those seeking the instant gratifying things. Like, do you think they know?
I say some people know, some people don't, because it's again, it's fun to drink. Why
Sure.
would you not drink? You know.
Yeah.
But
But it's
eventually it accumulates, right?
right.
It becomes a habit.
Yeah.
You know, I won't say it's a routine. It's a habit
Mm-hmm.
because you're hooked to it. You're hooked to the feeling of you're not empty because you're surrounded by people
Yep.
doing the same thing you're doing.
Yep.
You know, and there's no, yeah,
But it is empty.
it's empty, but it's not in that situation because you're
Right.
surrounded
Yeah.
by people.
Yeah.
Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So,
yeah.
was it difficult for you, or was it like just a light switch?
I think it's a light switch. Again, I'm only social when I only drink when I host parties, when I go out,
Yeah.
you know. That's when I become social. That's the thing too. I'm extrovert, but not
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I love being with people,
Yeah.
but I have a moment.
Sure.
Sometimes I turn off my phone because I
Yeah.
don't want outside,
Right.
you know. So during those party days, I actually turn off my phone for like Sunday because that's my Ron day, right?
When you mentioned like you're a social
Yeah,
drinker,
yeah,
because you're still a social guy.
yes. Now,
Yeah.
but different setting, different
Way different.
yeah, different setting,
Way
right?
different.
And it's daytime when I'm social,
Right.
you know, not
So-
in like a dark.
So how did that happen? You went from one
Yeah.
cold plunge with your friend
Yeah.
Nick. You were sober before that.
So
And
again, so the main thing is there's nothing to do that time.
Mm-hmm.
Either I'm in my small apartment or go out in nature,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, Nick invited me to go for Cherry Beach, and then I've been going even though he's not organizing something.
Mm-hmm.
So I just bike. I bike a lot during the pandemic. Also now I still bike a lot, but I just
Yeah.
go places, bike anywhere because everything is empty.
Yep.
And I just started going to lakes in Toronto, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a month after that, I have a friend. He owns a resort up north. It's the Trace Resort. You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Just before the pandemic, he bought the property. He invited me there to go up. I was able to check it out and all that. And then I remembered that during pandemic, it's like, wait a minute, there's a resort up north like I can go to.
Oh.
So I went. That time you were not allowed to leave your region,
Yeah.
but I was taking care of the property,
Right.
because he was away and the wife was away.
Yeah.
So I went.
Yeah.
I was there by myself. You've been there. It's huge. 10 acres. So I was there by myself. I celebrated my birthday there. Even Christmas, because you can't even see anyone during Christmas time. I can't see my family in Markham because it's like, okay, you're not allowed to go anywhere. So I just stayed. So my birthday is close to Christmas. So I just stayed.
Can we pull up a picture from Cold Camp? Is there any like pictures online that just has like a big picture of the land or anything?
If you go to Unbounded Cold Camp,
I want to see this.
stayunbounded.com.
There.
Anyways, it's not like that when I came there. It's just a resort for summer.
Where do we go? Locations, experience, what?
Experience.
Oh, look, there you are.
Experience.
Okay.
That's me.
Is that you too?
Yeah. Walking.
Of course, it's you.
Yeah. If you go to, I guess, event experience. Yeah. Cold Camp.
Maybe there's a picture. Oh, there we go.
There. Cold Camp.
We're going to talk truth for a second. You know that juicer that you've got at home in that box, maybe in the garage, destined for a garage sale? I want you to keep it. Please keep it. You can make juices at home. Just remember the 80-20 ratio. 80% vegetables, 20% fruit. You don't want a smoothie because that's dessert. You want fresh vegetable juices. So you were there all by yourself.
Yeah. But that place wasn't open that time.
Right. It was just a cottage.
It's just a cottage, but they're closed during the winter, right?
Okay.
So I messaged Nick, oh, I got this place. There's ice. It's a resort. It's like almost like an island. It's surrounded by ice and all that. Come up. We'll do some dipping here.
Uh-huh.
And then Nick dig a hole, like an ice hole.
Oh, so are you segueing into the most famous plunge right now?
Yeah.
This is the one that went on TV.
because that happened a month after the Cherry Beach.
Okay. I want to pull this one up.
Yeah, because it's like so. Yeah, it's only a month since I took cold plunging, and then we.
Where do I find
did
it?
this.
I can just literally Google
Google me.
2 guys playing
Chess.
in the frozen lake. Of course you're there, right there. First thing. Canadian men play chess in ice cold lake. Checkmate. CBS.com.
So that's not intentional. So we.
Look, there you guys are.
Yeah.
Is there a sound?
Not really. It's a time lapse, right?
Oh.
So whoever posts, they add their own spin to it. I haven't even seen this. Oh, it's CBS News. The music, man.
Who won?
Nick.
Wow. So that's it.
Yeah,
That was
we played chess, and then there's a guy that did the maintenance there. We asked him, Darcy, oh, can you take a video and a picture too?
Uh-huh.
Of course, I posted it on my Instagram. And then, I don't know, it got picked up, and then that night, it's like, whoa, people are messaging. It's like, Ron, you guys are on TV, blah, blah, blah.
You didn't even know? Like
No.
they just arbitrarily put on the news
No.
or something?
I see people reposting my posts,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it got picked up by media companies
Wow.
around the world.
Right.
You know, even Olympics. It's like, whoa, Olympics pick up. And the Chess Federation.
No way.
Yeah. So that night, we're like, oh, okay, what happened there? Blah, blah. And then that's how we eventually.
Okay, so again, I just want to get a little bit more with the consistency because I love your consistency. I love being consistent with everything we do, understand the compound effect and all that stuff. You went from Cherry Beach to that scene there in the lake.
Yeah.
How did you turn that into 1,000 days every single day into the cold water?
From Cherry Beach to that infamous chess game, I was already dipping every day.
Yeah.
Every day, right? And then after that chess game, let's do something about this, challenging people's mindset, especially this time that everyone's like depressed and there's nothing to do and all that.
Right.
So that's how we came up with the community that now I co-founded. It's called Unbounded.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a community. We take people like challenging yourself, basically, forcing, embracing
the elements, the cold,
elements,
right,
in nature and all that.
So it started with you and Nick deciding that you wanted to help other people and like introduce people to this.
Yeah, Lisa came up to. She was in the resort, and another founder, Zach Ramelin, who's a filmmaker. So basically,
he wrote a book. What's his book called? We'll pull it up. I don't know what it is. I just know
something about creator.
Okay. And he's a filmmaker.
Yeah, he's a filmmaker.
So you guys, the four of you
Nick
guys.
knows him already from before. But we end up 4 of us staying at the resort during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stayed there for a while. That also helped with my consistent going on ice, right?
Right.
But for me, the initial that chess game was nothing for me already.
Because you're already doing it.
Oh, it's ice.
Yeah. So you've since then, and the inception of Stay Unbounded or Unbounded, you guys, how many people would you say you have introduced to the cold water?
Me personally?
Yeah, sure, you.
I think a lot for the past 3 years.
Indirectly and directly.
Yeah, people that doesn't even know me personally, they just follow me. I get lots of messages. Oh, you're the reason why I did this.
So
you're the reason why I became sober.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's how I came to meet you. Right?
It's really humbling because some of the people that's messaging me, I don't really know them. We haven't met.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's not even Canada. I got messages from different countries.
Yeah.
Right? I guess that thing also helped. The viral video.
Sure, but that's also the power of your branding.
Right.
And I'm going to bring this back to me because that's how I met you. So I decided last winter I wanted to start going in the lake and with my friend Kuro, right? Coach Kuro. I've already been doing cold showers for almost 20 years.
Right.
Because I like it and I intuitively knew it, and I wrote one of my theses about it. But the cold lake, that was a different level, and we decided to do that. And then I just started doing some posts with him and then I started using some hashtags. And then, I'm thinking I'm pretty, I'm good. I'm getting in the cold water, right? Look at me. And then I see this hashtag with you and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's like, he's real deal. I'm nothing compared to you.
Right.
And so I ended up, I think I shared it with Kuro. I'm like, Kuro, you got to look at this guy. And
what was it?
I don't know. Probably you just going in the ice water of something. And then I started following you, and I don't know. I think maybe you started following me back, and then we just started talking.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I love making sincere and like genuine relationships on social media because it's quite difficult. It's not like right. We're swimming in a sea of just so many people.
I guess your account wasn't private.
No.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, because it's sometimes like, okay,
I hate that. If someone's got a private account and then they message and it's like, why do you have social media if it's private? For everyone that's watching this,
Ron doesn't follow private accounts. Don't let me guess.
No, that's kind of legitimate for me too. Like if someone messages me and I see they've got a private account, it's like, oh, I don't want to. Like, it's social media. Just post your pictures of your cats and your family if that's what you want or not. But like, make it public. That's, I think, right. Just make it public. Yeah. So I started following you, and then we ended up communicating. And then, I had to prove myself. I guess I had to keep on going in the cold water, right? And you're like, okay, this guy's probably serious. Yeah. So then you invited me and Kuro to Othership.
Othership, yeah. And our pop-up at Stack.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll in the final edit, I'll put some content up there.
Is that the day you and
we took the train
with your dry robes.
With our dry robes. I guess I should.
First time I've seen it. Someone.
I guess I should segue before that. Like, so, and that's going back to your branding and your strength, because I think I saw that post with you probably wearing your dry robe, and I'm like, wow, what is that?
Right.
That company looks cool.
Yeah.
I want one of those. So then I started following Dry Robe. Yeah. But I didn't know you yet. I saw you as this cool guy going in the water, a cool personal brand.
Right.
And then I saw this company called Dry Robe.
Yeah.
And I was like,
not a lot of people know that. Look at the robe. Like, who would, you know what I'm saying? It's like
only someone that's
someone
that's enthusiastically getting cold would be attracted to something like that.
But it actually keeps you warm.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even bring towels. I don't. So one time I was but I was up north at the cold camp, right? Mm-hmm. All I wore was shorts and dry robe for people were seeing walking around with this.
Hold on.
I have 2 luggages.
Is there a picture of you on your Instagram with you just?
There's a bunch.
There's so much.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can pull it up here really quick. Because look at that, the gut whisperer. Got to log back in.
Sometimes it bans me if I do desktop version.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah, like here's this guy who's got beautiful photos, beautiful videos, just doing these cool, crazy things. And we got to scroll down. But look, like there's that. Oh, there's one. There's that famous dry robe. Oh, it's a video.
1 minute.
There's like a commercial for them right here, isn't it? There it is. It's the famous dry robe.
The dry robe will be a dance scene. If you skip this,
there it is. Yeah, so I saw you wearing one, I'm like, oh man, because the challenge when anyone is doing cold plunges
Yeah.
in the wintertime, you have to come bundled up,
Yeah.
right? Because you know that when you get out of the water,
Yeah.
it's going to be,
Yeah.
you're going to freeze your
Yeah.
balls off.
Yeah.
And so there's layers and layers and it's difficult.
So sometimes it's more, it's easier to just stay in the water than actually get out of the water.
Yeah.
Because you're battling with that wind chill.
Right.
That,
Right.
you know.
So, and then that prompted myself and Kuro to buy one because we wanted to keep on doing this. We wanted to turn this into a lifestyle. There's another one there.
It's a towel version.
Yeah.
A towel robe.
So that turned into us, buying one each. And then we just started following each other. And then that's where you invited us afterwards to the other ship.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And so we went, we took the GO train. We wore our dry robes.
Right. Yeah. For those who doesn't know, other ship is on King, and it's on Adelaide and Spadina.
Okay.
It's a house of transformation, we call it. It's a huge, amazing place with 50-person sauna, 4 ice baths, and
this is a good continuation of just you being able to stay consistent.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you kind of lean to ice baths when the weather gets warmer, right?
Yep.
But to be honest, Ontario water, it's never not cold, right?
It's always
the more
cold.
you swim far out, it gets colder.
Oh, I never
The
even
more I
thought
go
about that.
under, because of the current, it's switch, right? The more I go under, you can tell the difference.
So when you're
Sometimes
swimming in downtown,
sometimes half of your body is it's colder, right?
and you experience that all the time when you're in Toronto.
Yes, but I don't want to. Yeah, it's like it's cold, but I think if you put random person there, it's really cold.
Right.
One time I was doing kite surfing.
Take your watch off.
Kite surfing. Yeah. So the kites, I did kite surfing last summer. Not kite surfing. Is it windsurfing?
Windsurfing. Yeah.
It didn't work out. I tumbled and tumbled. Anyway, so the people that was training and some of the students, they're all wearing wetsuit. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Do I have to wear a wetsuit? And they're like, oh, by the way, this is Ron. He goes on the ice. So they're kind of like, oh, right. But this is like middle of summer.
Yeah. And they're all wearing wetsuits.
Because it gets cold.
Sure.
The water,
yeah. And they're going out. They're far.
Yeah.
Got it. So let's talk about the other ship. Let's talk about that pop-up shop that you invited me to. And then we'll talk about Cold Camp a little bit more.
Right. So basically, other ships started, actually Inward started first.
Yeah.
That's the OG spot. That's the original other ship.
Mm.
It's like the owner, Robbie Bent's garage turned into a 1-person ice bath and sauna. So it's like a total, like a small.
Was this during COVID as well?
During COVID. It was actually open before COVID.
Okay.
But it's like not a lot of people know about
Yep.
it. Not a lot of people are into ice that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it was opened. And then people are starting to.
So tell the viewers, aside from me pulling up a video, tell everyone what that location is, because it's a cute little tiny.
Yes, yeah. It's like basically it's 5 minutes from my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's on Dupont. It's beside. It's the garage of the owner, Robbie, right? It's just like when you walk in, it's just straight up washroom, shower, sauna, ice bath. It's more for like a solo journey, right?
Yeah.
And then years come, it became busier. Like people are doing all this cycle now. When I say cycle, the ice, sauna, So I guess that's how they built Othership, because it's like, okay, more people are coming in now. They wanted to expand.
Right.
So Othership is like it's the mothership, because it's like
Othership is the mothership.
Because it's like the sauna is like 50-person.
Yeah.
4 ice tubs. Also, it's not just the look. It's everything, like guides, facilitator that knows what they're
So I owe you a big
Yeah.
thank you because, like I said, you invited myself and Kuro,
Yeah.
right? We took the GO train, we met you,
Yeah.
we went to other ship,
Yeah.
and what a cool experience,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like this nice little spot.
Indoors.
Indoors, yeah. And then
Yeah.
the sauna's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Freddie, I want to
Yeah.
give him a plug because he's a really
Yes,
cool,
Freddie.
really cool guide.
Yeah.
And he does this sound immersion
Yeah.
sort of experience class in the sauna as well as in the cold plunges, the cold tubs. And then at some points he throws this ice ball on the sauna rocks and you get this amazing waft of essential oils and their incense, which I love, which every time you come, you bring me a couple of sticks of incense, which is really nice. It's the whole experience.
Yeah.
And in my last podcast, I was saying the exact same thing with Veronica in the tub. Not a lot of people get to experience this.
Yeah.
They don't experience it because they don't even
Want to try?
they don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They think it's hard, painful,
Yeah.
right? It's going to suck.
Yeah.
I wrote about it in my book.
Yeah.
But those that do experience it, just like you,
Like I said, from experience too, it's like people refuse to do it because they haven't experienced it.
right?
But once you get into
Yeah.
it, it's just
And so that's what I'm saying. Like you essentially did that one plunge with Nick,
yeah.
and then you decided to do like
Yeah.
another one,
Yeah.
and then another one.
And then another one.
And then it turned into 1,000 friggin' days. Here you are right now,
Yeah.
straight,
Yeah.
which is amazing. So, and I want to tie that again one more time to sobriety because I used to work in drug rehab, two different clinics. It is the most rewarding position that I've ever had.
Yeah.
How could someone use this to benefit their potential challenging lifestyle? Like, how can they use it to
Yeah.
create a new addiction or like get rid of an old addiction?
Right. Yeah. I guess because of the benefits, the good on it. You know?
Yeah.
You know? It's like going back to sobriety, right? You're
Yeah.
doing all this temporary chemical enhancing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But this, it really changes your mood, everything.
It sure does.
Naturally, right?
And you said earlier about the dopamine.
Yeah.
And if you
I'd rather
watch,
get addicted to this kind of
Yeah.
dopamine than that.
and if you watch social media, and if you pay attention to these things, like you're seeing Huberman Lab, you're seeing all of these people talking about the dopamine increase, you know, the benefits, and there really are so many
Yeah.
benefits.
So why not do it?
Of course,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Why not?
Again, you can't be unbiased because some people don't want to do it because they're not ready for it.
Yep.
They don't want to change.
Yep.
But if you're really willing to change,
Mhm.
change your life, change your environment, like I always say, change your environment, you'll change your world.
Okay, you got to say that one more
You know?
time because that was powerful, and this is
I'm
applicable
just saying everything comes to like environment, where you are,
Yep.
who you associate with,
Mhm.
right? But if you have that plug, you unplug it,
Yep.
you say enough of this already, I want to change.
Mhm.
Then eventually you'll change your world, the world you want to live in.
And then going back to the environment, you are a part of this community
Yeah,
of a lot of like-minded people.
right. But I was also part of that community before, like-minded,
But in a different world.
in a different world, a different environment
Yep.
too, right?
Yeah. So now you've
Um,
changed families,
right. That's it.
right?
That's it. Yeah.
And your family now is, I would say, a bigger family than the bar scene.
And then help me a lot as well, right?
And then in turn,
Like they say, I inspire them, but
you do.
But really, every time I get those messages, that's a reason why I did it every day. Because why not? It's helping my health.
Mhm.
It's helping my mindset. But getting all those messages, I'm doing this for myself,
Yeah.
right? But getting those messages that I'm changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Why am I stopping?
Do you feel that you owe it to people now? Your lifestyle? Do you feel that's another reason why you're consistent?
I don't say owe them, but it's actually the opposite. Like it's making me stronger, I guess, right?
So by you going in,
by their support, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's giving purpose,
and I think
you know.
talking about consistency and talking about like social media, you have to be consistent on social media for business, of course. That's just a whole different beast that we're both passionate about, but hate it at the same time. Yeah. But when it comes to consistency, and if it's, you know, and you're in branding, you're in marketing, it used to be like 3 sort of visuals or cues if you saw something to, you know, would then make you buy that product, right? You got to see it 3 times or whatever. Now, consumers are a lot smarter, and then we see everything so much. So we need a lot more cues to make a purchase. But at the same time, I think that followers of you, they need to keep on seeing you doing this over and over and over and over again. And then that one time when they're finally ready, you'll be that tipping point.
Yeah, I think consistency is powerful, you know? I think that's how you build self-confidence. I was able to build my self-confidence because of doing that. Yeah. Going back to superpower, I think that's power. Being consistent of what you really wanted to do.
It's hard. You know? So, okay, maybe, is it hard for you or is it easy for you now?
It's easy for me now.
Got it.
You mean physically going in?
Both.
It depends, right? If I go on ice, I don't say it's hard, but it's like it's still a challenge because you always think. Yep. Because it's not always safe to go on ice, to stay longer, you know. But I've learned that.
And so for the viewers, Ron always puts a disclaimer on his videos. Professional doing this because you go under the water and you've got like this. You're breathing out of the straw and you're going under the ice. Can we pull up one of those? Is there one on your Instagram with you? That? Yeah. Should have just, there, look at that. Right there. Like that's real. I think I was even there for that maybe. I'm not sure. Was that at Cold Camp?
Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
I was there.
There's another one with the straw though. Where's the straw?
And look, he's going to break the ice. That's so cool. Do you ever get scared?
I miss it.
Do you ever get scared?
What's the worst that could happen? Get stuck.
Yeah. Drown.
Yeah. Again, there's always people around me when I do it. So,
No, but you didn't answer my question. Do you ever get scared when you're doing that? Or is it invigorating? Adrenaline.
Right?
Yeah.
But so cool. I already know I can do it. So I think the straw one is like, if you scroll down, I think it's a good one there.
Look at all these photos. Is this one here? With the straw?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to break a hole in the ice. Boom.
Let me breathe.
Wow. So awesome. Who's taking is that a drone?
It's a drone.
And so you just you love it.
Yeah.
You love this.
Yeah. I guess I crossed that part now that I want to do this.
Yeah.
Because it's really challenging me, right?
It's amazing.
I'm incorporating different stuff now.
Sure.
Just being still on ice.
Yep.
You know, I want to do something.
And so what's amazing, and this is all just human behavior, what is pleasurable for one person can be perceived painful for another.
Or a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
I'm claustrophobic kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really, because you're there.
So it's helping break even some of your other limiting beliefs.
I guess.
Cool. So then let's talk about where you're going. What you've got to have some type of an end game or what's the big point? Because
here's the thing too, we're talking about what I do, wellness side.
Yeah.
For that, I don't think there's an end game for that, right? And I also don't have a plan in the future what it's gonna turn out to. You know? Going back to Unbounded, I'm one of the founder of Unbounded, which is already fulfilling for me.
Got it.
Because we help a lot of people. Built a community, basically.
So then talk about that a little bit more. What is Unbounded?
So Unbounded is it's a lifestyle brand, but we challenge people to embrace the fear, embrace being limitless.
How?
Basically.
Do you guys have do you host events or something like that?
We host events. So we actually started during the pandemic, we started as like we do group. We go on the lake as a group. Right? We guide people on the lake and all that.
Because realistically, if you're a first timer,
you need
someone.
Unbounded came to be, because now we're certified. We have insurance and all that. Because a lot of people message me, Ron, I see you. Can I show up tomorrow? Because I see you going in there.
Right.
I say, okay, you can come, but I'm not liable.
You're not responsible.
So if you really want to do it proper, go through Unbounded, because we have facilitators that's certified to actually take you in the water, right?
I keep on forgetting her name. What's her name?
Ashley?
No, with the dog, Mookie.
Oh,
Mookie
Natalie.
and Natalie.
Natalie and Yuri.
She's amazing. They're both amazing.
Yeah, Natalie and Yuri.
And so she's the one that taught and guided my mom in her first plunge.
So you know how I know Natalie?
No.
During the party days. So Natalie actually changed her lifestyle as well because of me.
Natalie used to party. You knew her from partying
scene.
You invited her to the...
No, we haven't talked after the pandemic and all that.
Yep.
And she started seeing my posts, like, and Yuri, because they live like by Humber Bay. That's where we initially did our plunges.
Right.
And they can see us from the window. It's like, what are these guys doing? And then finally he saw my account that, okay, I'm part of that.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then she just started going. And now she leads our thing at Cold.
So, and that's just it. Like my mom had such an amazing experience with her.
Yeah.
And she guided my mom so gently and wonderfully, and just talking about breath and all that stuff. So many people benefit from your guidance and like your groups, because like if they're learning from people like you and Nat, like they're getting such an amazing experience. And I can attest to that.
Yeah. Like when people say like, okay, well, why would you go up north to pay and then experience this?
Yeah.
That's it.
Why would anyone want to pay?
Because anyone has
hundreds of dollars
can go to an ice, right? But that experience, like, because those people have that capability to actually show you how to do it properly.
Yeah, it's like most recently, just when I was in Costa Rica, I could have tried surfing by myself.
Yeah,
I would have sucked at it, and I did suck at it. But you hire a professional and a coach, and it makes the experience a zillion times better. It's the exact same thing with a cold exposure.
Yeah.
Go with a coach, go with a guide, and make the experience just so much more better, because it's more than just going in the cold water.
Yeah.
It's way more.
Yeah.
There's so much more.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. If you were to coach someone right now, right, going into their first cold plunge, what would you say to them?
I'll just say embrace the cold. That's the thing. That's why I'm not a guide. I have a different way of,
right,
because how I learned was through myself.
And you're very
through my perseverance.
You're okay.
So I can't translate that to if I'm guiding, because I'm not really trained to guide, right?
How about then?
And I don't imagine myself in the future to actually.
Yeah.
I can do it right now.
Yeah.
But I just have a different. Again, going back, I'm doing this.
You're doing it for you, yeah. Okay, so then,
so if going back to your question, if I'm gonna do it, I say breath work is really important to do it beforehand. Breath work, and after that, go in and just accept it.
Yeah.
Along with breathing, of course.
So then. Why would anyone want to? Or like they're thinking about it, they're on the fence.
Right. Why would you not experience it?
Just why not, right?
Yeah, why not? Why not experience it?
Yeah.
You won't know until you try it.
Yeah. But so how often do you hear people say, "Oh, I could never do that,"
and then they finally did it? Yeah.
And then what happens to them?
They change. Yeah. It's like, okay, Ron, I've been doing this now, right?
Yeah.
I have someone reach out to me. He's from Egypt. He comes to Toronto. I don't know how many times a year. We communicated, and it's like, Ron, culture, we never really like cold, right? So that's the thing, right? Like if you're stuck in that,
yes,
Yeah.
So okay, then You just said
limiting. You're limiting yourself.
you just said a culture thing, and
Yeah.
you've been part of Unbounded for a long, long
Yeah.
time, and you see
Yeah.
all different types of people from all different walks and races.
Yeah.
Do you believe that some people from different parts of the world
because they grew up not trained, but exposed to that mentality that you're limited to doing this because you're from this.
Jermaine's a perfect example, right? My big buddy Jermaine, right? Yeah. Big black guy, Jamaican. Yeah. And the ongoing joke was like, he doesn't like water, doesn't like swimming and all that stuff. And he openly laughed about it, but now he's addicted to going in the cold plunge. Oh, he loves it. He bought a dry robe.
Oh, amazing.
And it's the same thing. It's like, so the stereotype is that Jamaicans can't handle the cold.
Yeah.
How many Jamaicans?
So going back to that friend of mine from Egypt. So I took him to the water. This is through me, not Unbounded. So it's just me and him. And then stepping into the water, I think it was December. He said, "Ron, I kind of feel faint." I was like, "Oh my God, no." And then he eventually walked with me.
What do you mean? He felt faint?
Like, that stomach feeling, I guess, when he said like faint. Before, like walking to the shore, walking to the water.
Okay.
It's not even fully submerged.
Okay.
Right? So I thought, like, oh, this happens, then I'll be responsible. Anyways, we continue walking, and then we end up staying in the water, submerged for 10 minutes.
His first time. A guy from Egypt.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 in December.
So should that reinforce then to every single listener and viewer?
I say always be safe. Listen to your body, like I said.
Of course, but like if an Egyptian guy from the desert can go into cold water, I don't want to
give it like
Well, I'm asking you.
I guess anywhere you were from, it always comes back to how you're limiting yourself.
Got it. That's what I was hoping you were gonna say.
It's like I can't do this because I was brought up like this. Oh, I'm gonna get cold. Going. Oh, don't go outside. It's too cold. You're gonna catch a cold.
Yeah, we were taught that,
but not.
You know what?
But opposite, I guess they say in Russia. No, ever since you were born,
get cold.
You get cold,
right? And so.
So that comes back again to culture. But
I'm gonna knock on wood. I didn't get a cold last winter.
I haven't gotten sick. That's the thing. I haven't gotten sick since the beginning.
Say that again.
I haven't gotten sick. Even minor. No. Even runny nose. Nothing.
And that's because you've been getting cold. Strengthening your immune system.
That's the thing, right?
Now, I remember when I was in high school or middle school, showering first thing in the morning, just wearing a sweater, a light jacket, and my hair was just wet. Waiting for the bus in the wintertime. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But getting cold on purpose.
Yeah.
And then, warming
that's
yourself
the thing. I used to hate cold.
Yeah.
Like, waiting on bus. Like, why am I freezing? We're freezing. And you got to go to school. But now, I look forward to being cold.
And so this is it. I grew up playing hockey and all that stuff. I liked hockey. I liked the winter. But I have never looked forward
to winter.
To the winter
more. A lot of people
more.
That got involved in this new found, I don't know what you say it, but
craziness, passion.
But it's like, oh yeah, now we have, like, they look forward to winter now because there's something to do in winter.
Yeah.
We literally wait for lakes to freeze. It was like, oh, that's not frozen enough. Like this year was disappointing. It's like we have like a short bit. The ice still formed, but
how funny is that? Let's just put that into perspective here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not enough ice, or it's like, oh, it's not cold enough. Cold.
Yeah, because my 400 dip back in January. There's like a AFP from France, right? The AFP news, like that's where everyone gets their news source. So the guy interviewed me for my 400 dip. And we didn't know when we scheduled it. It's the coldest day of the year, which is minus 37.
How did you do?
We did it at the island. That time I was already on my 400, so I was just like, okay, going on ice. But he interviewed me after coming out of ice, right?
How long were you in the interview for? How long were you talking for?
I think the video I posted is like a minute, but the
Sure.
interview is long.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like a documentary style.
Got it.
Right. Me going in
Yeah.
and all that, with skyline of Toronto. But yeah, it was the coldest, so I didn't experience that this year.
Let's just talk about this as a lifestyle then.
Yeah.
Because as you see,
I guess you can say it's lifestyle.
It really is a
It's
lifestyle.
That's
Yeah.
why Unbounded is a lifestyle brand.
That's your slogan.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle brand.
And I think some people can get maybe a little mixed up with it, like the vanity side of things.
Mhm.
But then there's also another component where it's a sincere, genuine lifestyle.
Right.
You live this.
I don't really see the vanity in it. Me
Well,
in the middle of
there are people that will go out in the middle of the lake to take a picture and to share it for the likes and the comments. That's vanity.
Again, that's instant gratification now. Right?
Yes.
Like, okay, it was
okay. So let's
nice,
talk about that then. Are there people that are using the ice as an instant gratification?
It's just like people who try. It's not generalization though, but yeah, like okay, I want to try the ice bath, but admit it.
Yeah,
it's part of the experience. I want to do this because I'm going to be on Instagram. Right? but who knows how many people are actually doing it?
Yeah,
because of that.
Of course, and so that's just it. It's like it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
don't you think the chess game? We know it's going to be online, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that goes into your like your power and your strength as a branding guy.
Right.
You've branded yourself so well that in turn has turned into some pretty cool relationships.
Yeah. That's organic, right?
Yeah.
Like, I only use products that I actually use.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, they come in because, okay, we really love what you're doing, you know?
Dry robe.
Yeah.
Like that's part of your lifestyle.
Wear it all year round because now they came up with that light version.
Mm-hmm. What other relationship, like what other partnerships do you have?
I have the Komoso. I really love that brand.
What's
Komoso
that?
Is a breathing tool. It's just constantly, if I go back to that moment of stress, this is the thing too, I never get stressed anymore. Like, it's like, okay, oh yeah.
So what is that?
It's a breathing tool, right? So it's a science-based breathing tool. It only takes 6 seconds for us to calm down.
60 or 6?
6 seconds. So that's measured to the 6.
So what do you do it right now? What is that? You're breathing in right now, and you're breathing out.
So you just do you can do it without this, but it's just hanging on your head constantly. Okay, you're stressed out.
Yeah.
Then it reminds you to breathe. You know? I use it when I'm on top too. It kind of almost like a distraction.
Right.
So you just, while you're sitting on ice.
Yeah.
You just breathe.
It just slows down your breathing.
Yeah. You kind of you measuring it.
Yeah.
Basically, the breathing part.
Okay, so you've got a relationship with dry robe. You got a relationship with what are they called? Komodo?
Komosa.
Komosa?
Komosa. It's a
Komoso?
Japanese,
cool. Who else do you have relationships with?
Plunging culture is my go-to top.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Culture. Yep. Okay.
Culture tops. What else? Smart water.
Okay.
Because I need to stay hydrated.
Of course.
In the water.
Yeah.
And
you're not drinking beir anymore, so
yeah, I need to get hydrated. You listening, AG1? Anyways, what else? Like, it keeps on changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's seasonal too, right?
Right.
That's why I'm happy with dry robe, because now I can use dry robe.
Yeah.
Because of the light.
Kala.
Kala light.
Right. Yeah.
So Kala light is not new. There's studies now, I guess, for red light.
More and more, of course.
Yeah. So I've been using that from day one, right? I have the tall unit. I'm a big fan of the face mask.
Yeah. Well, you were telling me that you quite often use that before bedtime.
Yes. So there's studies, I guess. So in the morning, you need light, like
morning sunshine.
Yeah, or those sad lamps, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have one of those, like, you need bright light.
Yeah.
But going to bed, you need red, right?
So it doesn't like.
So daytime, you need bright light or blue, because it reminds you of water. It reminds you, but red.
It's like the sunset.
Connects to yeah. So so I just for 10 minutes.
So after you told me that you were doing that, I started doing it with mine, and I actually sleep way better. Way better.
How about you got your testosterone and all that? Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently it's big on
So
testosterone.
for those that, there's another video on my YouTube channel, I've got it. And I can be completely transparent. I'm not going to go details, but I competed, right? So I competed on the national level and I bodybuilded and I took anabolics. Mm-hmm. So years and years and years and years of anabolics will do damage to our endocrine system, right? And just naturally, it's almost, it's even the same as drugs, right? It's the same as drinking alcohol. People need more and more and more to feel the same almost. So with the anabolics, when I decided to come off completely, obviously my testosterone is just going to tank. And so since then, I've been completely off them for several months, and I'm happy. I'm so glad, because I want longevity now. But now I'm just trying to find ways to naturally increase my testosterone as best as I can. And so from you, with that relationship with Calla, then I did some research. I'm like, oh, this red light actually is showing positive results and scientific evidence that it can increase testosterone. Yeah. And then so with that, with the cold exposure, with the sauna, I started doing my own circuit, and I did my blood work before, and I did my blood work 30 days and then 60 days. And from day 0 to day 60, I've significantly increased my free testosterone, my total testosterone. Like, I've got it in the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Before that, I was subclinical. Yeah. Now I'm within range. Yeah. I would love to be higher. So I'm still incorporating these tools. Yeah. But this biohacking, like, it's good for us.
Yeah. So I guess you can say that I'm into biohacking, because
of course you are.
I've been hacking all this way to my health, right?
Through breath,
even ice bath. I think that's hacking, biohacking, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Going back to red light, so is it studies now that some people who has it, even me, you just go naked, focus it on your balls.
Yeah.
Increase your testosterone.
Yeah, it's true. I was literally,
because there's a mini version of it, right?
So you do that, you put it in front of your balls? Is that what you're saying, Ron?
It's organically happened.
Okay. That's amazing. How come why don't you put that on social media? You're always posting everything. You got to do that.
It's not branding.
Well, okay. It's a good segue for your branding.
Yeah.
How successful are you with these companies? Like, do these companies tell you that just, when you make a post, their sales go up because you're a big influence?
I guess they're just happy that their products are getting used by someone who's really connected to what the product is all about.
Of course.
Yeah. Good. That's what influencers are for. I don't want to use that term.
I know, but
so they don't really.
But you live it. You live it. Yeah. You really, really live it.
No one really talk about sales or all that, right?
I'm lifestyle, but I'm also very business driven. I love business, and I love hearing about.
I'm sure they see analytics and all that.
Sure.
I don't check my because I don't care about those.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's cool because the company believes in you.
As long as people are using it, you get to buy it because of that post.
I've bought multiple things because of your influence, and I know that it works.
Right.
I think all this talk about cold exposure, I would like to go for a cold plunge.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of
hot in here.
Yeah.
Well, the AC's off.
Okay.
Because we can't talk with the AC being on.
Also, it's just it's me. That's like
what?
The cold, because I'm like. What do you call this? I'm just craving for cold all the time, right?
Are you?
I can't even stay outside for a long time, right?
How do you do in the summertime then?
I get like what do you call that? Lethargic.
So are you legit?
I have access to ice bath closer everywhere, so I just jump in.
So you yearn for it?
I guess so. Yeah. Usually in the morning, but when it gets really hot. A lot of people I know do cryo because it's like, okay, it's too hot outside. That's the thing about this weather.
Yeah.
It's a natural.
So much easier.
It's also good for you because it's a natural contrast.
Yeah.
So you're walking outside, it's too hot. You go in on ice.
Yep.
It does something to your body. It's just like confusing it so much, right? I'm on hot place now. I'm gonna be on ice.
Yeah.
So
hormetic stress. That's what it is.
So we call it like natural contrast therapy.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go to cryo because they're too hot outside. They just jump into cryo for instant.
Okay? I'm gonna leave you with this one question then. Maybe two questions. One, what's your favorite thing about cold plunging?
Here's the thing too, right? It's contradicting now because I love the community aspect of it.
Okay.
But I like my solo time. I like my solo journey, right? The reason why I go to inward. I just like when people say, Ron, what do you think? What are you thinking every time you're in the tub? I'm like, that's the point of it. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I don't think at all, right? Because if I'm surrounded by, it's just kind of, but I can quiet my mind, basically.
You have the ability to quiet your mind?
Yeah.
Is that just from practice?
I guess so. Or just, I say my past life, it's always like, go, go, go. Always anxiety, stress, and all that, right?
You just said the magic word right there.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Let's say someone has anxiety.
I have anxiety, but it's not, everyone has different anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So my anxiety is created by me, basically, because I live in that world of like, okay, what do I do next? Where do I go next? What do I throw now?
Well, hold on, brother. Anxiety is created by everyone's anxiety is self-induced.
Right. But some people doesn't know it.
Right.
Right.
But you're aware of it. So what I'm saying is like,
yeah, but I think I'm creating it.
Of course.
It's like, okay,
but how?
I can't work because I'm hangover. Why are you hangover? Because I created it.
Right. So, but how, if someone has anxiety?
Yeah, but I think anxiety is a clinical, it's connected, right? So you can't blame some people if they have anxiety.
Yeah, but it's not brought on. Who brought it on? They brought it on by themselves.
Right. Or hidden thing that they don't know about themselves.
Sure. Right? But it's still self-induced. Right. But what I'm saying is like,
I can't talk about it because I'm not a doctor. Yeah. I'm not a professional.
But have you seen people who claim to be anxious do well in the cold water?
I guess so. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Alora.
I think we know someone. Yeah. I was surprised when you thought, because I was at cold camp where that happened, but I didn't know that happened. So probably can explain because
So Alora, I don't know her that well. She's an amazing photographer. Yeah. She captures content from a lot of professional athletes and bodybuilders, and she's got a speech challenge. Yeah. Right. And then she also said that she's an anxious individual, and the moment she went in that cold water, her speech impediment,
she was able to talk.
She went fluent.
Like, again, so if you say that, like, again, there's no study about it. So when I tell people, I can't really explain it.
But
because
it
happened to her. Right?
But there's anecdotal. How much anecdotal evidence have you seen? Like, what other transformations have you seen?
So again, there's no scientific studies, but I think that something in there did something in your mind that translate again to mindset.
Yes.
Because I'm going on ice. Why not the rest of my body follow?
Yeah.
My brain, So it starts working, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen it. It requires a huge mind shift. But when you do have that mind shift, things change.
Yeah.
Other things change.
Yeah.
Right?
Again, change your
What did you say? Change your environment?
Change your environment, change your world.
Yeah. And it all starts with
mindset. Confidence. And consistency, I guess.
And then those two create feedback from one another.
Yeah.
The more you're consistent, the more confident you become.
Perspective. At the end, you create your purpose.
Mm-hmm. So let's leave it at this. What's your purpose?
I think I want to be able to help people without really trying, I'm doing it organically.
Not in a professional clinical setting.
Yeah, I'll charge you.
Yeah.
Because I'm helping you.
Right. You're just helping people through
because I'm helping myself.
Right.
Along the way. So I think that's the best purpose in life.
And ultimately, everyone can follow that model too, can't they?
Yeah. And hopefully it spreads.
I think it's working. Thanks for doing this.
No worries. It's really hot in here. I gotta go
I know.
to ice.
Yeah. Okay, so episode 2 in the books. Really glad we were talking about this for doing this for a long, long time, and we finally made it happen. And so that's it. That's a wrap. Okay, that wraps up this episode of the Gut Gang podcast. Thanks so much for being a part of the Gut Gang community. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and even leave a comment. Your feedback fuels our growth. And also, here's something special. If you want more exclusive content, be sure to become part of the private Gut Gang members-only community, where you get to see behind-the-scenes bonus segments in my cold plunge and the sauna with each of the podcast guests. That's right. Part of the podcast series is having the guests hang out with me for the whole day at my place, biohacking, taking cold plunges, going in the sauna, even a coffee tasting where we hook up all the mics and the cameras and we shoot the entire experience. You definitely don't want to miss out on this action. So I'll see you over there. Gut Whisperer out.